These are pictures of the Prime Minister's arrival at the HAL airport. And yes,
just to give a little bit of data, in terms of the center-state dispute that we are talking about, there's the peripheral ring road, for instance, which has been funded by debt by the state government. Then there is the suburban rail project, as I said, which is in a limbo after L&T pulled out. That's a center-state project as well. Then there is the state asking for its share from the 14th Finance Commission allocation for Bengaluru city of 6,000 crores. The state demanding that from the center. Siddaramaiah asking for a Bengaluru infrastructure fund as well from the center. So multiple issues there. From the center's point of view, the center says that look, it's funded Bengaluru and its projects much more than what it has done other places, and it's giving equitable distribution to every city, right? So ultimately, this is, the political tinge of it sort of takes away a substantial debate. And I think the requirement in terms of serious citizens in the city who are part of activism is for a substantial debate and specific. For instance, tunnel roads is something that's been questioned repeatedly by several in the city, saying in such a water-prone city, such flood-prone city, do you really need tunnel projects? I think ultimately it's the question of corruption. It's the question of how infrastructure projects are viewed that really needs to be seen. And this is not about the Congress or the BJP. And I think there needs to be that categorical unity between the two governments to ensure certain infrastructure projects for this world-class city.
From the things that are being said, it doesn't look like there is unity. One must also look at whether beyond the layers of politics there is also a functional sort of relationship which actually works between the two sides, enabling such projects.
You see,
and the Prime Minister is about to arrive, but yes,
and
yes,
I
go
think
ahead.
Exactly. Speaking about the Prime Minister, just as you said, sharing the stage, there have been meetings. I think the politics is just one side. It's one layer. There is a deeper functional relationship in terms of getting things done as well.
Very important. Okay, live pictures of the Prime Minister about to pass from here where we are standing, where Veera and I are standing at the Chalukya Circle. All arrangements are set. You've got live pictures of the cavalcade itself as it approaches where we're standing. It will be passing through and heading towards... Okay, there you have it. Live pictures of the Prime Minister as he passes and makes his way towards his first point. You can hear the slogans as well. Prime Minister waving as his cavalcade slows down and passes the Chalukya Circle here in Bengaluru. Lots of enthusiastic workers here as the Prime Minister makes his way towards the Vande Bharat flag off. Very important projects being inaugurated by the Prime Minister here. And like I said, a quick 15 seconds, but such a large crowd that had turned out to catch just a few seconds of a glimpse of the Prime Minister. And Dr. Ashwath Narayan, I would a quick, before I let you go, a quick word. The BJP is commonly accused of, bringing crowds, etc. But wherever I've gone, I've noticed that you don't need to bring crowds where it's Modi. They always arrive. And your workers are also very enthused and energized about even catching a few seconds of Prime Minister Modi. We just saw it. He was barely here for about 10 seconds.
Yes, we could see him. Seeing him itself is a great opportunity. It's not, it's not a mere statement. It means a lot. It means a lot for us. He's a true inspiration for our country, the country which we have been facing a lot of challenges, and leadership is needed, much needed. Probably we look up to him to see a great future for each one of us and for the country and for the entire globe. Yeah. So for that, all this good reason, people love to welcome him. People love to welcome any given opportunity, let it be n number of times, they always love to be here.
Deepak, the Prime Minister has just passed where we are right now. He's heading to your location in a short while as well. The knives are out. The political knives are out. We just heard DK Shivakumar speak as well. The Prime Minister will be making a speech a little later. I am not so sure he's going to get into the politics of everything that's been happening. But it looks like the mood has been set by all of the local MPs and MLAs.
Well, absolutely, Shivan. It's a very important metro line because this feeds towards the tech corridor. If you have like giants like Infosys, Biocon, Delta Electronics, and many more IT/BT companies on that stretch, you could imagine how important of a line this is, and especially Silk Board. Everyone who comes to Bengaluru, and most of the posts on social media which talk about traffic in Bengaluru will have a mention of Silk Board. Now, this particular yellow line will cut through Silk Board. What it will mean is people will breeze through the traffic. They will not have to wait at a traffic signal, especially at Silk Board Junction, at Bomanalli Junction, at Hoskur Junction, or anywhere through that stretch. For people who are working in that tech corridor, it's a big blessing. So the politicians definitely want to say that, well, we did this. We made this happen. The real credit goes to the taxpayer who's been waiting patiently for all these years, despite the delays, for this project to complete. But politicians, being politicians, will of course look to take credit. Well, credit should be given where it's due. And here, probably both the state and the centre both have done their bit. But is it right to now say, well, we've done more, we've done better? Well, it's for the taxpayers at the end of the day to decide. They will, of course, when the time comes. But today, like you've been saying, the Prime Minister there, the mood is, of jubilation among supporters. I'm in the Bangalore South region, and here, probably where you're standing, you would see a lot of people who are party workers. But here, what you would see slightly different are local residents as well who will turn up, because Bengaluru South is a bastion of the BJP. Let me speak to a few of them. Are you a BJP, worker, or are you just a supporter of Prime Minister Modi?
I'm a supporter of Prime Minister Modi.
You live close by,
Yeah,
and you've just come here to see him.
yeah.
Have you seen him in the past before?
No, it's the first time.
How important for you is this yellow line that's being inaugurated?
Actually, it is very important to me because I would travel HSR Bomanalli Electronic City.
You work in the tech corridor side?
No, I'm a student.
You're a student? Okay.
Yeah.
There are many colleges as well. That's
Yeah. It's very important.
So you think life will get a little more convenient?
Yeah, much better.
Absolutely. And that's that.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And well, that's the mood here. I can see a lot of people. Again, like I said, these are predominantly residents, but conventionally BJP supporters. More importantly, Modi supporters. They're not here with the BJP flags, but they're here to catch a glimpse of their leader. How important is this particular yellow line for you and the Prime Minister inaugurating it?
Yeah, it is a pride moment for especially South Bangalore.
Yeah.
And we actually it's supposed to happen few years back only because of Tejasvi Surya and the Prime Minister taken the initiative. At least this time it is happening.
Yeah.
We are proud of this moment.
We are all taxpayers at the end of the day. The politicians today are saying, well, we deserve the credit. Do you feel that more than the politicians is the people who've been waiting and the credit should go to the taxpayers here?
I certainly believe so. It is the taxpayers who are, who deserve this. And politicians should not be taking credit for this. They are just here to work for us, not to earn money for themselves. Yeah. So we would appreciate it if things were done more for the people than for themselves, because that's what is happening in these days.
Tell us about this yellow line. I think you're a resident nearby. You must have seen the influx of traffic in this region. This particular elevated flyover alongside the yellow line of the metro, how important is it?
Basically, I'm looking at it from the connectivity point of view, and it is very good because more and more people are using metro, and it is extremely convenient because we would like to beat the traffic and be at the place where we want to be in a shortest time. So this is very, very convenient.
Also, what the yellow line is being spoken about largely for is it is going to be driverless. It's the first time in India that you're going to have a driverless train. Today, of course, it's going to be operated manually. Eventually, they want to make it driverless because it has the capability. The first train came in from China and eventually being produced in, Kolkata. When that happens, in terms of technological advancement, infrastructure for the country, in Bengaluru in particular, how important do you think that will become?
I cannot say anything from technical side of it, but I think it's a good initiative because something like this, we are moving forward. Absolutely. And technology, India is going forward. So I think it's amazing. It's amazing, yeah.
Also, a bunch of youngsters who are here. All of you are here to see Prime Minister. How happy are you with the yellow line being inaugurated?
I don't know.
Okay, a little shy to speak on camera.
So I'm not a youngster, but I've come. I'm not a youngster, but I've come here because firstly I can see the metro from my balcony. It's very exciting, and PM has come so close to our home, and he's doing so much for our country. So I said I must pay my respects at least this
Are
way.
you hoping to get on the train while the Prime Minister is on the yellow line? You said you can see it from your balcony. Are you going to try and jump into the train?
Yes, definitely. If I could, I will. If I was a Garuda or something, I would have just gone from there. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, you see the excitement, Shiv, and the Prime Minister, of course, brings that out in the people, and especially in South Bengaluru. You can rest assured that the people are going to be elated having the Prime Minister here. They don't care that the roads are closed, the shops are closed. They care that the Prime Minister is coming here. He's, of course, right now reached the Krantivira Sangoli Rayana station. That's where the Vande Bharat trains will be flagged off. 3 of them. One is an important one. That's from Bengaluru to Belagavi, connecting South Karnataka to North Karnataka. And then you have 2 other Vande Bharat trains for other parts of the country as well. That's going to be inaugurated. Then this particular station that I'm at, Ragi Gudda, he's going to, of course, board the train from here, head all the way to Electronic City. That's where he'll be, of course, speaking as well today, addressing the gathering there, predominantly metro employees and several others. And it is going to be a big, big day. And the anticipation is, quite clear among the people that I'm speaking to.
I'm not surprised at all about those voices you just got, Deepak, because I've seen it wherever we've reported from, wherever the Prime Minister goes. Apart from the huge masses of BJP workers, you will also have lots of local residents who come out, out of curiosity to pay their respects. Of course, when the Prime Minister is on that yellow line, I'm going to caution people not to try and jump into the train, even if they've got Garuda handy. But interesting, because this is something that the people of Bengaluru have been looking forward to. Things have been slow coming. I sense a note of despair sometimes in the voices of Bengalurians over the very generous serving of politics that's always mixed into everything that happens here in Karnataka, especially when the knives are out. And I'll be playing out some of those things very shortly. But I want to bring Veera in. Traffic is normal now at the Chalukya Circle. The VIP movement has moved on to another place where the Prime Minister is. I'm going to be playing out a chunk, Veera, right now of Kiran Majumdar Shaw, a prominent Bengalurian. The traffic here, the infrastructural woes, transport issues here in Bengaluru, are they the great leveler in Bengaluru?
No, absolutely, and I'll tell you what.
Not just the common Bengalurian, but also the elite.
The other day, Rahul was also here.
Yeah.
So, I was talking to Priyank Kharge. He had to go to a NASSCOM event in Whitefield. And he was at Vidhan Sauda. And he said,
Minister.
come walk. Yeah, he's an IT minister.
Yeah.
He said, come, let's go. I use the metro. I only use the metro because it takes me 5-7 minutes, predictable time from where I need to go to. He said, no, I'll also use the metro only to Whitefield.
Yeah.
I don't want to use it. So
That should be normalized.
It's a normalized thing, and I think it's more out of necessity, out of a sense of desperation. Look, it's not just Bengaluru's problem, it's urban India's problem across the board. It's little more pronounced here because A, the affluence, the prosperity of the city, and B, importantly, the political instability that it's had over the last 20 years in some ways or the other. There is a need for greater bringing together of the civil society, the Silicon Valley dream with the core of it. And I think people need to take the responsibility as well, because most people are more interested in Bay Area than Baitra and Pura. And I think that's another issue as well, right?